Hi, everybody. Steve Bear here, talking about essential oils and emotions. This is meant to be just a quick understanding of your brain, your emotions, and the outlook for managing negative emotions that you feel. First of all, I want you to ask yourself, what emotions do you feel on a regular basis? What emotions do your family and friends feel regularly? And how would you like to feel instead? Because sometimes we feel like emotions that come up and present themselves, it's like they take us hostage. But the fact of the matter is we have a lot of power over our emotions, and aromatherapy is a powerful tool to take back control of those feelings. Let's do a quick little tutorial on the brain. If you notice this little, on the figure in the left, that yellow thing with the little pokey, spiky things coming out of it, that's the olfactory bulb. And when you smell something, the odor molecules hit these receptor sites and send messages into that olfactory bulb, um, and allows us to recognize 10,000 different smells. Well, those smells have the powerful ability for us to recall memories and to change how we feel. It could be positive or negative. The olfactory bulb is connected to our limbic system. And the limbic system is what gives us power over our emotions. It brings back those memories, it affects our hormones, and the autonomic nervous system. I like this quote here, which came from Dartmouth. One way in which the limbic system has been conceptualized is as the feeling and reacting brain that is interposed, or that stands between the thinking brain and the output mechanisms of the nervous system. So when we think about that nervous system, we have that two sections, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic is our fight or flight response. It causes stress, what makes us decide to get angry, or to fight back when something occurs, or to run, that sudden spike in our blood pressure. Well, the parasympathetic nervous system is what maintains homeostasis within our bodies, which the system which allows our body to rest and also digest our food. So what ends up happening is that these odor molecules hit the olfactory bulb, then affect the limbic system, which then has a tremendous effect on our entire body, our entire nervous system. And when you look at the science of emotions, emotions aren't completely understood. But like I said before, we have a great tool to help manage and in some ways control them. Our bodies do react negatively to chemicals and synthetic molecules in the air. That's why sometimes you'll get headaches when you smell too much perfume, or a synthetic fragrance. So therefore, you should choose only essential oils that are the highest grade and have the appropriate balance of chemical constituents. And let me just add, there was one day that my wife, Jenny, was just having some issues, and I asked her, what was wrong, and she said, "Oh, I'm feeling X, Y, or Z." I can't remember what she said exactly. And I said, "Well, have you used the Emotional Aromatherapy Kit for that? And or have you used these essential oils for that?" And she says, "Why would I use oils when I can just use chocolate?" So yes, you can use oils, you can use chocolate for balancing emotions. Now, originally, doTERRA's line of emotion oils was focused on these four blends that are still a tremendous asset. Balanced Grounding Blend is perhaps my favorite emotion oil to this day. If I had to choose one out of the 10 that are available now, I would choose Balance. Serenity Calming Blend has a mixture of lavender and ylang ylang and a few others to help with sleep and overall peacefulness. Elevation Joyful Blend is meant to do exactly what it says, is to make us feel more joyful, more elevated. In fact, there was one time when, early on in our doTERRA career, when one of our kids accidentally smashed a bottle of Elevation, and we were cleaning it up, and I'm like, I want to be so angry about this, but I feel so happy. And it's just one of those funny things that happens when you smell certain oils. And the Citrus Bliss Invigorating Blend is a wonderful blend of basically all the citrus oils. A couple others though that aren't necessarily lumped into the emotional or to the aromatherapy line are Whisper, which is a wonderful blend for women, especially during their monthly cycle. Clary Calm is also branded as a women's a monthly blend for women, so especially during times of PMS. But we have found that to be particularly effective with our toddler. And then my personal favorite is actually Holiday Joy. It comes out in November and December if you haven't had a chance to buy it. And I've been known to tell people the story of coming home to a messy kitchen and kids that hadn't done their chores yet, and I was frustrated and upset, and my wife Jenny, sensing that I was upset, flipped on the diffuser, and in the process of yelling at the kids, I stopped and paused and I said, "Is that Holiday Joy?" And my mood was immediately lifted just from the smell of the oils in that blend. Well, now doTERRA has come out with their Emotional Aromatherapy Kit, and it's a very easy kit to use. You identify the emotion that you're feeling, and then you identify the oil blend that matches that emotion. The kit comes in this lovely little package, and sometimes there might be a tendency. Well, you can buy each oil separately, and there could be a tendency to say, "Oh, you know what? I only want to get X oil or Y oil." When having the incomplete package is a way to have complete understanding of, or a complete tool to manage negative emotions. Let me explain a little bit what I mean. When I first smelled the aromatherapy line, my favorite oil that I just loved was Motivate. It's meant for when you're feeling frustrated, discouraged, gloomy, or apathetic. And the thing on the right, the graphic on the right, gives us a couple ways that we can use it. Applying it to pulse points, putting on a shirt collar before a meeting. It's meant to instill feelings of confidence, courage, and belief. I occasionally feel discouraged. I get frustrated, and so because those emotions are a more routine or regular, or they come frequently for me, the oil Motivate has been very beneficial. Likewise, the oil Passion is great when you need some excitement, to spark creativity and ignite feelings of passion and joy. So if I'm feeling a little gloomy, then Passion is a great oil for me. So that was the second oil that I just loved. And then from there, I found that it was kind of hit or miss. The Cheer essential oil was great for the most part, but every so often I'd smell it and be like, "Yeah, it's okay." And likewise for Forgive, because I honestly I don't feel feelings of guilt or anger very often, and I don't harbor a lot of discontent that way. And then the oils that didn't appeal to me at all when I first smelled the kit was Console and Peace. I don't generally feel anxious or insecure or sad or grieving. I haven't lost anybody recently. And Peace is meant for, for those feelings of fear. Now, there was one night when I had a very difficult conversation with somebody who had said some very hurtful things to me. And after that conversation, I sat there in bed thinking, "Oh, why can't I go to sleep?" And just not too long before that, I had given some advice to one of our team members who had had a child who was having a horrible time sleeping. And and so they tried every single sleep oil under the sun to try to help this little boy with his sleep struggles. And I suggested they try the Emotional Aromatherapy Kit because maybe that little boy was experiencing some emotions at night before the next day, and he needed some oils to combat that particular emotion. It turned out that he needed either peace or console, but he was feeling afraid for the next day, and so he didn't want to go to sleep because of that. Anyway, going back to my story, I thought I was feeling anger, and so I went to go put forgive on, and it didn't do it for me at that moment. And I found out that what I was feeling was actually hurt. I was I was I was hurt. I was grieving because of what that person had said to me that made me feel extremely sad. And and so I tried console, and I was like, oh wow, this is wonderful. And I tried peace, and likewise, it just hit me really hard. And so what I have found in particular for me is that yes, I don't always need peace and console. I don't always need motivate or passion for that matter. Um, but the great thing about this tool is that when you let me go back to the wheel here. When you if you tend to feel any of these emotions, you can use the oil that goes with it. If you have mixed emotions, maybe on one hand you are feeling worried, but you're also feeling discouraged. So you might need to use um, peace for feeling worried, and you might need to use motivate for feeling discouraged, and make a little blend out of that. 2 drops of each oil. Anyway, you get to play with it, but now you have a tool to diagnose the emotions that you're feeling and then actually take some proactive steps to fix it. So, how do you get this kit? Well, if you're not a doTERRA member, you can get the Emotional Aromatherapy Enrollment Kit, which comes with the 6 oils and a diffuser. It costs $195 and is 145 points. Alternatively, you can, if you are a member of doTERRA already, then you can get the entire kit for $159. I believe it's 150 or 155 PV when you purchase the kit complete. Now, then you can also buy each oil individually, but like I said before, having the entire kit is super helpful because we all experience a wide range of emotions. Now, let me give a little plug to my dear wife, Jenny, as the one person I would recommend if you want to explore this further. Jenny has experienced a lot of emotional healing from using essential oils as she's overcome, various ailments that plagued her starting in her late teens. And while in my experience of using essential oils has also been tremendous for emotional healing, but a big part of that has been the coaching that Jenny has given me, helping me identify why I'm thinking what I'm thinking, why I'm feeling what I'm feeling, really understand it. And so now there will be times where I'll be kind of angry about something. She'll ask me a brief question, and then I'll think to myself and I say, you know what, I'm really not that angry about that, and I'm just going to move on. Whereas before, I would get focused on it, and it would just be right at the forefront of my mind, and I could just choose. You know what? No, I'm not going to be angry about that, even though my initial reaction was anger. There's also a wonderful book out there called Emotions and Essential Oils, a modern resource for healing. It will be available soon at youroiltools.com. And if you want to delve into the emotional properties of each single essential oil out there, it's a really fascinating read. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. I hope it's been enjoyable, and enjoy your experience of healing your emotions with the wonderful Emotional Aromatherapy Kit. Thanks, everybody.